The Bitcoin price finds itself in a very interesting situation. I mean, the bulls right now are definitely struggling around the $7,000 region, and there is certainly merit here, in my opinion, for a large, potentially heinous dump all the way back down towards the 3.8K region if certain parameters are met. We're going to discuss this. But on the contrary, my friends, I also believe that there is sentiment here that if certain parameters are met in the other direction, that a rip up towards the $9,000 region is certainly possible, in my opinion. So let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. Today we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price and both perspectives here. What may happen if this rejection at 7K gets worse? We'll look short term and mid-term. And also, if we are able to get through here, what am I looking for in terms of getting up to that bullish target of around 9,000? So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right. So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Now, clearly, we have a few things outlined here. If we zoom out, we have this large red box here, which for me is the macro resistance zone for Bitcoin right now. This dates all the way back into 2017. We've just seen it act as a median line here for the trend as a whole for so long, my friends. And right now, the true test here is back testing these old levels of historic support here. And it's currently acting as a new potential resistance. Now, if that breaks through, what we'd hope for is that that can change into another support after breaking above, but it's too early to say so. At the time right now, we're seeing it back testing as a current support, and that is why Bitcoin is having some trouble here around 7,000. Now, when we look in further here, we could see that I have this upward sloping channel drawn out, right? And I mean, the way that I have this drawn, it's not perfect, right? Because we have wicks in both directions that go out of this channel. But for me here, I'm looking mostly at the meat and potatoes of the trend, right? And for me, this channel right now seems to be being respected very well. And what's very unique here is the median line, right? Notice this red line through the middle. This last push of action here since our last dump down towards 6,000, this median line has been respected nearly perfectly as resistance. Actually, if we flip on our line chart here, you'll see what I mean, right? Bitcoin has been very closely respecting that median line. Let's actually just check it on the 4-hour as well. Yeah, I mean, it's never really closed above there this time, right? Could that be potential weakness? Well, let's dive in further. So we have this channel drawn here, but we also now have this white box drawn up here at the top. And this box for me is just where we're seeing all of our resistance over the past 2 weeks. Okay. Now it's interesting because Bitcoin has been rejected at roughly the same exact area over a 2-week period now 3 times. And what I want you guys to notice here is that if we go out to the weekly, what you're going to see here is that Bitcoin has had these very heinous weekly closes here, right? Or rather wicks before the close, okay? Notice these last 2 weeks here. The wicks have been insane. Huge upside action followed by a huge reversal back down before the weekly close, okay, my friends? So let's examine what's going on here. What I want you to notice is that on this first one here, we wicked all the way up to about the same region that we're trading at now before a dump down all the way back to below 6,000, and then we closed the week, okay? This date here March 22nd of 2020. This was Sunday, my friends. This was a Sunday. So we ripped all the way up and then dropped down onto the Sunday and closed. Okay, so this action really wound up seeing it play out all the way to Sunday. Okay, fast forward, huge rip all the way back up right to where we were the week prior. And then, my friends, it dumps down. And what do you know, ladies and gentlemen? March 29th, a Sunday. Okay, so from Sunday to Sunday, the price action did a complete, it went all the way back to where it was, right? So we saw on both occurrences, it was Sunday that brought the price back to the median. Okay. And right now it's interesting because we're seeing sell-off begin now, and there's only 2 days left before Sunday. Are we going to see another heinous rejection like this? I certainly think it's possible, as if we do look on the weekly. Let's actually go to a fresh chart here so we don't have to have all my micro indicators here. All right. Let's get rid of this real quick. Excuse the doodling here, and let's look at it from this point of view. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of normalcy here, in my opinion, to potentially see something like this happen again, as these wicks tell a story, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not familiar with really what the wicks are showing you, is that this is where the price action tried to establish momentum and close at, right? But it could not. The pressure could not sustain, and it wound up selling back off, right? Similar to what we saw up here before a blow off top, which then led to the capitulation down, right? Let's get this crypto. Also similar to what we saw here, but from the other end, up, 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 and then the action took off to the upside, right? Right now, you have to take this weekly candle with a grain of salt, the current one, because like I showed you on the past two occurrences, these downside wicks occurred all the way till Sunday to the weekly close, right? So we didn't get this close here. It had to take until the end of the week to make those wicks. So what I'm saying here is we still have 2 days, or even more than 2 days, about 2.5 days at this point, left of trading action before we get the weekly close. I don't want to rule it out of the equation that these 2 prior weeks wicks have told us a story that, hey, at least up until now, the bulls are having trouble establishing momentum inside of this median box here, right? And this is the median trend line of the macro trend here that I have. The bulls are struggling in there, as they should be, right? This is a range where old support should be potentially acting as new tentative resistance, right? So it's only normal that the bulls are struggling in here. And what I don't want you to lose focus of is that right now, Bitcoin is getting rejected at roughly the same area that it's been rejected twice thus far, and testing potentially back down to where we've seen it test twice should not be ruled out of the cards yet, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. You understand? And if you see this, ladies and gentlemen, if you could just leave a thumbs up on the video, I so appreciate it. Helps the algorithm. And a comment. I see it, Kirby. I don't see it, Kirby. Anything you want. Thank you, my friends. It so helps the algorithm. So now that we have this outlined here, what we have to understand is this median line is acting as resistance. The median line is now, since the trend has caught up, the median line is actually right at this area of the prior two resistance levels, right? Whereas before it was the top of the ranges, right? And now it's actually in the middle. If we drop back down from here, if the Bitcoin correction continues, my friends, what we need to see here is some support being built. Now let's go into the 4 hour here, okay? This is where you can really put this under a microscope. Now, this wick, we're going to take this wick, all right? We're going to use our Fibonacci retracement tool to get our Fibonacci extension targets, okay? Or rather, excuse me, the Fibonacci retracements here, okay? What we can see is that we have our 0.618 right around 6,350 and the 0.5 between around 6,515. If you are subscribed to this channel, and if you're not, you should subscribe right now and tick the little bell. I do analysis like this nearly each and every day. If you are subscribed, you would know that between the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci's is the honey hole of Don Carbonaccio. This to me is where I'd want to see support being built, right? Anywhere between 6,350 and 6,515. Because if Bitcoin can establish support in that range, we still would be traveling inside my upward sloping channel. We would not have broken to a new lower low yet, right? We would still be on a micro higher low trajectory, right? Also still potentially bullish. And then it starts to lend credibility to the theory of, hey, is this all one gigantic ascending triangle, and could this be preparing for a massive, potentially explosive rip to the upside, right? So right now, I think a pullback, even if it continues from here, with the current price action right now around 6,700, if we were to pull back another 5% or so, I still don't believe all hope is lost. As I just explained, the structure is still potentially intact for the bulls, right? Now, little James, don't get all excited here, Kirby. Oh, Kirby, so you're a bull now. You're a bull. Let's go. Don't ever call me a bull. Don't ever call me a bear. It's not black and white like that, James. You know, when the market looks bullish, I'm going to be bullish. When the market looks bearish, I'm going to be bearish. I'm not a bull. I'm not a bear. I'm a trader looking to crush this market and get this crypto. Okay, little James? So right now, I've set up the predicament here for us that I think we should all have a very good understanding on a micro level and somewhat of a macro level of where the trend is at. And I hope you see that we're coiled up right now like a powder keg getting ready to absolutely explode in either direction. As right now, if we lose these levels here at around 6,300, 6,350, and we start to create new lower lows, right, negating the higher low trajectory, and losing the support of this upward sloping channel, losing the Fibonacci retracements, right? You see what I'm saying? If we lose this, my friends, the $5,800 region becomes the next critical support for me, as if we cannot hold there. You see it acted as resistance, 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 flipped, support, support, support. If we lose the 5,800, my friends, that is when I believe the probability for a potential retest down to a $3,800 double bottom definitely increases. If that happens, I'm going to be looking for potential short opportunity, as my friends, that could be one heinous drop. If we drop, I'm going to be looking for trade setups in there, potentially high reward, low risk. If you want to see all of my trade setups, if that occurs, and you want to see how I'll be playing it, all of my entries, exits, take profit zones, etc., I'll be posting all of that exclusively for you in VIP. And on the contrary here, ladies and gentlemen, if Bitcoin does in fact rip up out of here, we're going to discuss further upside targets. Because I've kept the best for last, right? I've been, building us up here for more analysis, okay? And we're going to get into why is 9,000 potentially the target in just a moment. But if it breaks up, I'm going to be potentially looking to play this long to the upside as well, and then maybe short again if we do hit our targets. So right now, this is not a time, my friends, to be not paying attention to the charts, in my opinion. If you're playing this market, this, my friends, is a time where many people are going to be slacking in here, because the action, when we get stuck up in these ranges here and drift a little bit sideways, similar to what we're doing right now, people, they take a break, they stop. Oh, I'm just gonna, hold and hope for the best. My friend, generally taking your eye off the ball is not smart. So for me right now, the Don is watching this trend like a hawk with an eagle eye, preparing to strike like a cobra out of the grass and get this crypto when the time is right. And that's why I'm telling you, my friends, I will be keeping you updated exclusively in VIP with every single trade setup I formulate, every strategy I formulate, all of it. Long to the upside or short to the downside, the Don is ready to strike in either direction. If you want to see all of my trade setup ideas, entries, exits, targets, etc., I'm preparing for both directions, and I'm looking to tentatively crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. Okay, so now let's discuss, my friends, why the $9,000 region is an area of potential target zone for Bitcoin, okay? So if we zoom out now to the daily time frame here, what I want to point out as well is that if Bitcoin is able to get above my red box here, right, which is again, the long-term macro resistance slash support level, right, which we are trading right in the middle of now, which until proven otherwise definitely has to be respected in my opinion as a potential bearish rejection zone. But if we can manage to get above that region, really above 8,000 and consolidate, we would then be looking to flip this support range, right, which is now currently acting as resistance. It could be able to flip into a new support region back above the box, right? And if that in fact occurs, there are new levels to take into consideration here, right? And the main one for me, my friends, is this line right here. Let's draw a trend line. I want you to see right where that line cuts through, right? Let's just see it for what it is. Peak over here, multi-month support, 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 back test, support, right? Over here on the next rip up, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, and then a plunge. That line for me, my friends, right around 9,100 to 9,150 has a ton of confluence in it, okay? And at this point, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a degenerate or two. Oh, so Kirby, your target is just because of some line with confluence? Oh, little James, I knew you'd come. But listen up, my friend. What I'm telling you right now is there's one other little hidden piece of information here that could lend credibility to a $9,000 target. So let me show you that right here, right now. And again, my friends, if you're appreciating this, for the algorithm, leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs up for the Don. And if you could, my friends, a comment, anything, a thumbs up, a dot, LOL, thanks Kirby, get wrecked Kirby, anything. I so appreciate you. I hope you appreciate me. Do it for the algorithm and do it for the Don. Let's get this crypto. Now, here we are, my friends, inside the belly of the beast. Let's go into the Bitcoin CME Futures chart. And I want you to notice, my friends, there is a large gap in here. The gap of Don Carbonaccio, okay? What we're seeing here, my friends, is this here. Let's actually move this so you can see it. Look at this thing. This is a beast. This is a monster of a gap in here, my friends. If we take it from the close right there to the next close, or the open there rather, my friends, that is about a 9% gap that we saw here, okay? And this gap goes all the way up roughly to 9,060. My friends, gaps do not need to fill, but historically they have filled here with a high rate of accuracy, okay? Of course, past performance does not indicate future results, but as you can see here, all of the yellow lines I have drawn like that are gaps that have filled. Most recently, we even had one down here just several weeks ago at this point, not even, days or a week or so at this point. One filled right there, right? So, as the Bitcoin price was crumbling from that region, I mean, look, we'll just show it here. As the price went down roughly 12% from where that gap was created, I mean, it rose back up, 14% and filled the gap again. So for me, my friends, if Bitcoin is able to break through and consolidate at that $8,000 region, right, which is still, it's got a lot of work to do. If it can do that and get above that region of macro resistance right now, which I just want to show you again here so that we're all on the same page, right? If it can get really above this level here, right? You guys see what I mean? Right above in here, right? Right up on top of this old support zone here that's acting as new resistance. If it can start to consolidate here, my friends, right? My targets have to start being set on that gap up there around 9,060, because we've seen these things fill so often that for the Don right now, I mean, if we get above critical resistance levels, I have to start giving this gap a piece of my mind here, right? It has to be lent credibility. That's what I'm trying to say. And above that, I mean, is way too early to discuss this, but there is another gap up here at 11,795, which, that doesn't earn my time yet as it's too far away, but it's possible that over the course of the next week or so, this 9,060 gap definitely could be, becoming a real possibility, in my opinion. Of course, it doesn't have to occur like that. The Bitcoin trend right now still looks macro bearish. It just is what it is, right? That's not me saying that it's bearish. Bitcoin, blah, blah. These people, right? I mean, please, if you're brand new to the stream, you have to understand that I'm just letting the charts speak for me, right? This chart is bearish. It's been bearish for years on end, Stunad. I'm not here trying to look at a bearish chart and say, well, the chart doesn't matter. The fundamentals, Kirby. Fundamentals is such an easy thing for these moon boys to fall back on when the chart looks terrible, right? Because the chart is showing them that the trend has been terrible, terrible. And then when all goes wrong and goes against their moon boy hopes and dreams, yeah, let's just discredit the chart, make like that doesn't matter, and talk about fundamentals again. You see what I'm saying? It's garbage, ladies and gentlemen, when you fall back on fundamentals to try and make believe the chart isn't telling you a story. So for me right now, the chart story, until proven otherwise, is still macro bearish. And we right now are at the crossroads here, as I explained earlier, like a powder keg, getting ready to potentially absolutely explode here. And my friends, you see that for me right now, a retest down to 3.8K is totally possible if certain parameters get broken, right? And a run up to potentially around 9,000 is possible if certain parameters get met and are broken. So, of course, again, there will be moon boys on here. Great analysis, Kirby. So you're saying it can go up or it can go down? If that's what you just took from this analysis, maybe you should quit crypto right now. Maybe you should quit watching videos that read the charts. Because, my friend, this is technical analysis. It's not a crystal ball. Let me predict the future. It's looking for high probability plays. When certain occurrences happen, what gives the Don the best perceived edge over the market? What gives me, what position can I take, either long to the upside or short to the downside, to give myself what I perceive to be the highest potential for success, right? With the lowest amount of risk. I want the highest potential reward with the lowest amount of risk based upon the setups that I'm formulating and seeing inside the chart. That's what I'm looking for, right? And like I've stated, right now I'm getting ready. This move I think is going to be explosive. I think it's going to catch many off guard. Many average Joes and James at the water coolers, I think they're going to potentially get hurt here, ladies and gentlemen, on this move. They could get wrecked. The Don right now is going to be strategizing to the best of my ability to not only not get wrecked, but potentially absolutely crush this move here like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can in whichever direction it breaks. And as I've stated, I will be posting for you exclusively in VIP all of my trade setup ideas, all of my entries, exits, targets, take profit zones, etc. All of it exclusively for you in VIP. My friends, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you are not already in my VIP, ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. I'm preparing here. I'm doing my due diligence here on this move. I think that we are not long away from a huge breakout here, as I've just stated. I hope you see why. I mean, we're coiled up. So many things here ready to potentially explode. My friends, don't get caught off guard here. Don't be eating the moonberries there with little James, okay? Plucking the moonberries off the bush. Oh, look at me, Kirby, I'm eating my moonberries. You keep eating those moonberries, flying around in your spaceship, Kirby, going to the moon. Yeah, there's plenty of content for you to consume that will just blindly tell you about the fundamentals and how Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin. If that's for you, that's for you. For the Don, I'm looking for trade setups to potentially crush the market and get this crypto, not some moon boy hullabaloo, hope and a dream, $1 million a corn. So my friends, on that note, that is going to wrap it up for me here. Again, for the algorithm, if you appreciate it, please leave a thumbs up here on this video. Leave a comment if you can. Again, anything, a dot, LOL. Okay, thanks, Kirby. I get it, Kirby. Get wrecked, Kirby. I appreciate it. Anything, my friends. I appreciate you, and I hope you appreciate me. I'm getting ready to potentially crush this move like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. I will see you in VIP right now after this video, where I will keep you updated in real time with all of my entries, exits, trade setup ideas, take profit zones, etc. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And my friends, until next time, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.